Hello.
Hello,
How are you today?
I'm good. And you?
I'm also very good. What's your name?
I'm Denuwan. And you?
My name is Julia.
Julia.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And how old are you then?
I'm 13 years old.
Okay. I'm 23.
23.
Yes.
You
So
looks
10.
like younger than that.
I know. I do. People tell me that a lot.
So,
And tell me about your family. Do you have any siblings?
yes, I have a younger brother and an elder sister.
Mm-hmm. And how old are they?
My elder sister is 18 years old and she's Himashi. And my younger brother is still 3 years old
Oh.
and his name is Lochaner.
Okay.
So, and do you have siblings?
Yes, I have an older sister. She's 27.
27.
Yeah. And she lives in Germany and she studies IT.
IT.
Yes.
And her name?
Katrin.
Kathleen.
Katrin. Yes.
So,
And we're really good friends. Are you friends with your brother?
yes,
sister?
sometimes.
Yes, sometimes.
Because sometimes he hits me
Oh, okay.
and hitting me with sticks
Oh
sometimes.
no.
But I don't know what I should do for
Okay.
that.
Yeah, you should tell him to stop. That's not very nice.
Yes.
He's still very small, no?
Yes.
Okay. So sometimes you take care of him?
Yes. But only sometimes. Yes, but sometimes I reject and look after him.
Mm-hmm.
So on those times, my mom yells at me.
Okay. She wants you to help.
Yeah.
What other kind of tasks do you have to do at home?
I have not many tasks, but I have small tasks that studying well, and that is the main task that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is a little bit boring to go to school for me. So sometimes I like to stay in home, and on those days, then my mom, then I have to go to school. So sometimes due to that reason, my mom yells me at always because I reject go to school.
Yeah. Well, going to school is really important, no?
Yes, I know that, but it's really boring.
Yes, I understand that sometimes it can be boring. But what's your favorite subject? What do you think is fun in school?
In my school, my favorite subject that is history.
Okay, why is that?
Because also I live in Sri Lanka, so I love to study about my country, and I love my country, so I love to know the history of Sri Lanka, and it's really funny.
Funny?
Yes.
How is it funny?
Because we can think and study about ancient things, and I love ancient things created by ancient people, just like in Sigiriya. I hope you may have gone.
I have not gone yet, but I think I will.
Yeah, it is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
So,
Have you been there?
yes.
Nice.
So, just when we considering about those kind of places, we can see that how they created there. It is really big and wonderful, especially the mirror wall, the rock fortress, and the frescoes. So that is the main reason to become history my favorite subject.
Do you know any other important historical things about Sri Lanka?
Yes. When I was studying about Sri Lanka, I studied that Sri Lanka has history with 2,500 years as old Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
So in this long period of time, people lived by winning a lot of tasks, and there are a lot of kings in Sri Lanka, and lot of sad situations and sometimes happy situations. So, when I was studying about the kings of Sri Lanka, I had a story how the first king came to Sri Lanka. In India, sometimes you may have gone.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, no problem. In India, there was a person called Singhabahu and his wife Singhasivali had a son. This is it's a beautiful fail. So, I don't know it's whether true or false. So this is a story comes from our grandparents. So
Your grandparents told you the story?
Yes.
Okay.
And Singhabahu and Singhasivali had a son called Vijaya. Vijaya was really bad and cruel, and he hit to normal people of his country. So the people asked the king, that means Singhabahu, to chase him away from the country. So King Singhabahu chased him from the country with his 700 friends. And they came to Sri Lanka and he married the woman called Queni and became the king of Sri Lanka. After that, he rejected Queni and he married again a woman came from India. Next, from him, the kings came. I don't know his son, but as we have heard, his son had another son, and we have heard that his name is Pandukabaya.
Okay.
So Pandukabaya was the first Sinhalese king of Sri Lanka, and from him the kingdom appeared, and his kingdom was Anuradhapura. And also you can see, if you go to Anuradhapura, you can see ruins of those places.
Oh, cool.
Yes, they are really attractive and made of stones. If you go there, please look out for them.
I will.
Yeah. Yeah, and I told about the first king, and after a lot of kings, maybe more than 100 kings, and and next I will tell you about the last king of Sri Lanka. The last king is Sri Vikramarajah Singha, and he was a cruel person. So he was defeated by English people. So sometimes you may heard about the place called Constantinople. In the ancient time, there's a place called Constantinople between Asia and Europe.
Yes.
So it was a city with merchants. So merchants brought cinnamon, pepper, and a lot of things from Asia to Constantinople, and European merchants brought them from Constantinople and they sold them to Europe. So after a few years, in 1521, I can't remember the year. 1453 is when the Turkey people defeated Constantinople. So the European people had to come to Asia because Turk people didn't let them to come to Constantinople. So first Portuguese people came to Asia, and after a few years, they came to Sri Lanka, and they defeated all the coastal areas of Sri Lanka. Next, on stage there was a king in the city called Corte. He was called Vijayabahu, and his son. He had 3 sons, and they are Bonekabahu, Raigama, Sitavaka. And he had another son from another wife called Devaraja. So, King Vijayabahu didn't let the 3 princes to become kings, and he tried to give the kingdom to Devaraja. Due to this reason, the 3 princes called Bonekabahu, Sita, Mayadune, and Raigam got help from the king of Kandy, and they entered to the kingdom. In this time, Samad has killed the king. Due to this reason, the kingdom called Corte was broken into 3 parts. They are Corte, Raigam, and Sitavaka. So those 3 places were protected by those 3 princes. Corte was protected by 7th Bonekabahu, and Raigam by Raigam Bandar, and Mayadune protected Sitavaka. So in this time, Portuguese people came to Corte, and they got the help of Bonekabahu. So that is how they came to Sri Lanka. Next, in the Kandy there was a king, Karalia de Bandar. After he had 1 daughter and 1 son. The first is called Dona Katerina, and next one is Yamsingha Bandar. So, kings of Sitak, that is Mayadune, they attacked to Kandy, and at that time, Yamsingh Bandar, Dona Katerina, and their father went to Mana, and they were protected by Portuguese people. Then, after some days, Karalia de Bandar died, and the kingship was given to the Prince Yamasingha Bandar. And on those days, there was another person called Konapu Bandar with Portuguese people. He was a real Sinhalese person, and Konapu Bandar was strong, and he was a powerful person. So he lived with Portuguese people, and he helped to Portuguese people. So after a few days, Portuguese people asked Yamasingha to become the king of Kandy. Portuguese people hoped to make a kingdom in Kandy, which essential Portuguese people. So Portuguese did what? They asked Prince Yamasingha to come to Kandy and become the king. After a few days, he became the king, and after a few weeks, he died. Unfortunately, he had a son, so Portuguese people kept him in the throne, and they tried to keep him as a stupid king. At that time, Konapu Bandar came front, and they defeated Portuguese people, and he became the king of Kandy. So he was the king first Vimala Dharma Surya. And first Vimala Dharma Surya defeated Portuguese people, and he married the prince that I told, Dona Katerina, and he became the king of Kandy. After that, he defeated the king of Sitavaka, and he was able to catch that side too. And the biggest problem that he had is Portuguese people. So he tried to chase Portuguese people away, but it was not successful. So on those days, Dutch people had come to India to govern, and on those days, as the person called Spielbergen, I can't remember the name of that person well, came to Sri Lanka. Then the king, first Vimadamasurya, tried to get help from him. It was not successful, but after few years, in the kingdom of King Senaran, who was the brother of King Vimadamasurya, was able to get the help of Dutch people to chase Portuguese away. And after few years, they chased the Portuguese people away, but the Dutch people came to Sri Lanka and they catch the old sites that Portuguese people had. So this was a really big problem for the kings of Kandy. And so they tried to get a help of another European people. At that time, English people came to Sri Lanka and they defeated Dutch people and they catch the whole country.
So the Dutch replaced the Portuguese and the English replaced the Dutch people.
Yes, and and English people catch the whole country because English people are really cunning and they are wise. So they used the person called John Doyle to get information about Kandy. And there, at the last king of Kandy, called Sri Vikramaraja Singha, was really kind at beginning, but after few years, English people gave him drugs, wine, lot of things, and they turned him into a mad person. And the king became a cruel king, so he hurt to all the people and he killed monks too. So the king and monks were really angry against them. So due to this reason, the people of Kandy were really angry about the king, because as the people of Kandy respected to monks and the other people, when the king kills the monks, how these people can respect the king? So they didn't respect to the king, and there was another situation. That is, there was a person called Ahale Pola, and there was another person called Molligoda. Molligoda gossiped to the king that Ahale Pola wants to become the king and he will kill the king. So due to this gossip, king decided to kill Ahale Pola. But before that, he ran away to English people, and due to that reason, the king killed the wife and the daughter sons of Ahale Pola. The king killed the girls by throwing to the lake, and he killed the small boy after cutting with a knife with mother's hand.
Wow, that's really cruel.
Yes, that's a really bad thing, because the king ordered the wife of Ahale Pola to kill his own daughter, and he asked her to eat his daughter's meat.
Oh, that's
really
horrible.
That's really cool. And said, if you do not do that, I will kill you. But not only that, I will kill your whole family and your whole people of your family. So so the wife of Halepola had to do that, and she did it with crying. And next the king killed her too. Then this was a really problem for the people, and people were really afraid about this king. And in this time, English people said that they will come and they will help to people of the Kandy to get rid of from this king. Also, on those days, Sri Lankan people also were stupid, so they thought, okay, that will be really funny for us. It will be really better for us, and they helped English people to catch the killer. Also, Ahalepola helped them. So, but as unlucky, English people catch the whole country, and England in Sri Lanka in before Sri Lanka was a single country, but after English people catch the king in 1850, then Sri Lanka became a part of the Empress of the British Kingdom. So, due to this reason, Sri Lankan people were really sad, and English people said that King of the England is the King of Sri Lanka too. But Sri Lankan people wanted a king who lives in their own country and who helps and who listens to their problems. So, though the king is cruel, they felt that we had a king in our country, and we can complain about everything to the king. But after the English people catch Sri Lanka, they felt we don't have king. They felt that the king of England is not our king. So, and on those days, people wrote different poems about this. And if you like, I can tell one of them.
Okay, sure.
My dear aunt, you also have a king, but us, we don't have a king. English people says that there's a king for us, but where? We can't see that king. He lives far away. What we should do? So I hope you can understand and what the people thought about the English king. So after a long period of time, in 1948, Sri Lanka get rid of from England, but Sri Lanka became a democratic country after 1972. Then after that, Sri Lanka became a democratic country with a single president. So this is the history of Sri Lanka. I explained to you really slowly and a small bit because of Sri Lankan history is really long.
Yes.
And it was written in the book called Mahavansa, and it was written in Sinhala. Mahavansa was an attractive book, and also I have read that book.
Okay.
And there are long, and if I can say about beauty of Sri Lanka, in our Sri Lanka, a lot of foreigners come to Sri Lanka.
Like me.
Yes, and also in the ancient time, a lot of people had come from England. There is a person who came, Robert Knox, and he wrote a book, An Historical Relation of the Island of Ceylon. That is a wonderful book about the King Second Raja Singha in the Kandy era. And there was another person called Ibn Battuta was Arabian. And there are a lot of people, even Batuta and so on. I couldn't remember them. And I have read the book called An Historical Relation of the Island of Ceylon. English people identified Sri Lanka as Ceylon. That's a wonderful name. And Greek people, Taprobane, and sometimes other nations identified as Ceylon, Serendip, and Indian people identified Sri Lanka as Tambapani because when the first King Vijay came to Sri Lanka, they sat on the sand of Sri Lanka, and then their hand became just like copper in color, just like when the copper is you may have seen the color of the copper. So the King Vijay has told that the sand of Sri Lanka looks like copper.
Mm-hmm.
So that means Tambapani.
Okay.
And I love, as you told before, I love history a lot. Also, when I was playing games like Minecraft, sometimes it's a little bit bad for me. I know that. But I love that game. When I was playing even Minecraft too, I make places like ruins and ancient places. That is my favorite thing because according to me, they are really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to visit the ancient places of Sri Lanka too. I hope you will go to the Temple Tooth. Temple of the Tooth is a really beautiful place, and it is the kingdom that the king of Sri Lanka lived at the last. Sri Vikram Rajasinghe lived in the palace of Kandy. That palace is identified as Temple of Tooth now. And Sri Lankan people had a good technology. Also, we can't identify how they do that because Sri Lankan people have created a large number of lakes in Sri Lanka, which are really big, like sea oceans. And in the ancient times, it is hard to think how they were created because when we are making a big tank, we want to be careful about the capacity of the lake and the strongness. A lot of things should be considered. So, and a lot of equipments you should be used for that, and the everything, and the wall should be strong. I think you may know that a big lake is made of large amount of water. So it goes to bind of the wall. So in the ancient time, but the lakes are not broken still because Sri Lankan people used a good technology.
Okay, good architecture for this.
Yes, and in the ancient time, and still there is a lake, I can't remember, and our people thought that there should be a place which removes water from the lake, but there was no such a place in that lake. So Sri Lankan government decided to get help from foreign engineers to make such a place. Then they chose a place which is the most suitable place to get water out from the lake. And when they were mining that place, what did they saw? They saw that ancient people had created such a thing in that place.
Oh, wow. So they already knew.
Yes. By using foreign equipments, they identified that place after a large number of experiments. But in the past, our ancient people had created such a place in that place without doing anything.
Oh, that's really impressive. And they didn't have the same technology as we have today.
Yes.
Wow.
And sometimes you may have heard about King Ravana.
I have not.
King Ravana. Sometimes, no problem. There's a book called Ramayana, and according to that, there was a king called Ram in India and his beautiful wife Sita. And when they were living in India, King Ravana kidnapped Sita to his country because King Ram's brother Lakshman heard to Ravana's sister. And because of that, King Ram comes to Sri Lanka, and when he came to Sri Lanka, he also shocked because because he was able to see a lot of flying objects. A lot of vehicles were flying in the sky. In the ancient time, more than 10,000 years ago.
Okay.
So our people don't know what happened in that era. And also in here.
They were flying vehicles?
Yes.
Oh.
Brothers called Wright brothers created the airplane in 1913. But Sri Lankan people had vehicles to fly in the sky more than 10,000 years ago. That's a wonderful thing. So, if I tell such a thing just like this, because that is the countries which have a good technology like England, USA, Japan, these all countries created this technology with the technology of Sri Lankan people. I'm sure that because, as you told, us Portuguese people, Dutch people, and English people came to Sri Lanka, and they brought the valuable things and valuable books of Sri Lanka to England and their countries. So, also they just our herbal medicines, our herbal technologies, especially rural Ayurvedic medicine. They used them and they created medicines. So I'm sure that they are given that technology by us.
Okay.
So what is your idea about that?
Yeah, I can see that the people from Portuguese and the Netherlands and England, they took many things from the country.
Not only from Sri Lanka, but also from India, Japan, China. Also Chinese people. They are really great because before more than 5,000 years, they had created a big wall, the Great Wall of China. How did they create it? Also we can see it from the moon too.
Yes.
So how did they create it? We can say they can create it if it is created in this era. That means with the technological era, we can tell that it is created with the technologies by us. But 5,000 years ago, what can we tell? It was a long period. It was really rural era. So, how can we tell about that? Chinese people created the longest river of the world, and they created a lot of lakes too. And Chinese people created the compass and gunpowder and so many things created by them and papers too. So you may know that compass is really essential for the ships to find out the directions.
Yes.
And gunpowder is really essential. Well, for us in this era. And papers. When we consider about papers, paper is really essential for our people. Think when we study, when writing books also made of papers. And when we discuss about what made of papers, newspapers also made of papers, and ancient books. Sometimes they also made of papers. So
And that's also an invention that came from China.
yes.
Okay.
So the European people had this technology from the Asia, and Asian people are really good and they are really great.
Yeah.
So what is your idea about this?
Yeah, I think that many European countries took a lot of things from all over the world that did not belong to them, and they just took it and made it their own, and then gained a lot of power through this.
Yes.
And it's really interesting to see what kind of ancient cultures did what kind of developments and investments in the past. So yeah, but I think it's really impressive how much you know about the Sri Lankan culture and the Asian culture and all the history that you've talked about. Maybe now we can talk about not the history but the future.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd like to know what are your dreams and your plans for your future.
My plan is becoming a doctor, and after getting money, and I hope to become a traveler.
Nice.
Because I love traveling. That is my dream. So when we're considering about traveling, what is your favorite country?
I have traveled. I was lucky so that I traveled a lot in the past. And I really enjoyed when I went to Central America. It was like 5 years ago. And I went to Guatemala. Have you heard of Guatemala?
Guatemala,
Yes.
yeah, I have.
It's in the south of Mexico. And it was really interesting because they also have a really interesting history with the Mayans, which is the one of the indigenous people. And they have really fascinating landscapes. They have volcanoes. They have also like the coast, and they have jungle, and they have a lot of different things. Many sites you can see about the history, and many natural things that you can visit. And it was really interesting to get to know the Guatemalan people and speak to them. So I think that's definitely one of my favorite countries I've visited so far. But Sri Lanka, so far I'm really enjoying it also. But I've only been here for a week. So yeah, what kind of countries would you like to travel to?
My favorite country, my dream country is Switzerland.
Switzerland, okay.
Yes, because Switzerland made of the beautiful nature. A lot of rivers are flowing inside
many
the country.
mountains.
Yes, my favorite mountain is Alps mountain. And sometimes you may know in the childhood of Heidi.
Yes.
Created by Johanna Spyri, lived in Zurich. So, and my dream is going to Zurich and enjoying that nature.
In Zurich, you actually don't have the nature so much because it's a big city. But when you go to the mountains, then you have really amazing nature, and you can go hiking and enjoy the mountains and the lakes and the snow in the mountains also.
Yes.
Which you don't have here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm surprised you know about Heidi. How do you know about her?
Heidi.
I always used to watch it when I was a kid. It was always on TV.
I watched the movie too, and I I read the book Heidi.
Okay.
That's really happy and sad.
Yes. Why is it sad?
Sad. When Heidi had to come to Germany, to Frankfurt, to the house of Mr. Sesselmann, and she had to live with Miss Rottenmeier.
Oh,
and
yeah, I remember.
She
was mean.
Yes, and she's really poor.
Yeah.
And I feel she's a rotten woman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And because of this reason, Heidi always remember her beautiful mountains and spending time with his grandfather.
Yeah, he was nice.
Yes, his grandfather was, before his grandfather was really bad and scary, but Heidi turned his mind to a beautiful one.
Yeah.
So,
and then he became very kind, though.
Yes.
Did you watch this in Sinhalese or in English?
Both.
Both. Okay. So they put the Sinhalese language over the movie?
First, I watched the Sinhalese movie. Next, I watched the English movie.
Ah, okay. And you like Sinhalese movies also?
It's sometimes I watch horror movies in Sinhala.
Okay.
And English also I watch horror films a lot. And sometimes my mom yells at me about that.
I understand that. Okay, yeah, that's very brave of you because I couldn't watch it. I'm too afraid.
Are you afraid of ghosts?
I don't know. I don't really believe in ghosts, but in the horror movies when there's like really dangerous music and it's all dark and you can't really see what's going on, and then
if you go to the ghost house, then you will be really afraid.
Yes, I would. And sometimes there's like people just doing like really crazy things, and it freaks me out a little bit.
In Sri Lanka, there is a special kind of thing called a ghost house. Sometimes it can be identified as castle of ghosts.
Yeah. Is it like for going in for fun and then being scared?
Yes, there is a thing just like tail, and it was lighted slowly with red in color lights and covered with a lot of leaves. It's really bright. And people, in the first, there was a person who gets the tickets from us, like the devil.
Oh, okay.
And he asked us, "Now you are coming to the house of devils." And he disappears. And next we go, and the doors were closed. And if we said, please open, then the devil comes back and says, "Now you can't go back, go front." And he throw us away. And there are a lot of ghosts and scary things. Sometimes they are hiding in the behind the bushes, and when we come, they jump front. And in one time also I have acted to a ghost, but as a vampire.
Oh, wow. Where did you go to this ghost house?
This was not a real ghost house, but I did it with my friends. That when I was small, and I brought some, you can see it in sometimes we can find vampire teeth in the shops, and at one time I brought one, and
you put it on your teeth,
and brought some red wine, not red wines, but looks like red wines. It's like a juice, red in color juice.
Okay.
And I added into a glass bowl and get a gold colored necklace with D, letter D. That means Dracula.
Ah, okay.
and sitting in the throne. Ha ha ha. That
So
was really funny for me.
and you scared them?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, we also have some kind of ghost house in
Just
Germany.
like Halloween. Halloween.
Yeah, for Halloween or for on fairs. Yeah, but people go there.
Is
for
it funny?
Halloween? As a child, I really enjoyed it because we would dress up and get like scary costumes and also buy like fake blood and put it in our face and pretend like we had wounds and stuff. So
And
it got really scary. And
is
then
it true that the small kids request for candies?
yes. So
Yeah.
then we would like walk around in the neighborhood and we would ring at the doorbells of the people and then we say Süßes oder Saures, which means like I think in English they say trick or treat, but we're requesting like sweets or else we will play a trick on them, which nobody
Yeah.
really does, but the people are usually very nice and then they have like a bowl of candy next to that door and then they give you something and then you go to the next house. And that was very exciting when I was little. Because you got free candy.
Cool.
You don't celebrate Halloween here, right?
No. I sound laughing. If there is a Halloween here, the kids will be waiting for Halloween.
Yes, they would enjoy it too, you think?
Yes, especially cutting pumpkins.
Oh yeah.
That's really funny.
That was also fun. You always had to be very careful because the pumpkins are so hard.
Yes.
So you have to be careful not to slip with a knife, but that was also cool.
So, Sri Lanka, sometimes the nature in Sri Lanka, there's no seasons. And in some countries, they are really hot and hard to live due to the hot heat. And in some countries, they are really cool and can't live due to the coldness. But in Sri Lanka, there's no cool, no heat. So they both are equal. Rain and the sunlight are equal. But there are small seasons like in August, it is a little bit hot here. And in November and December, it rains a lot. And Sri Lanka is a multicultural country. Sri Lanka is a multicultural country and multi-religious country because Sri Lanka first Sinhalese, Tamil, Islam and Christian. The people with those four religions live in Sri Lanka and there are a lot of customs and traditions in Sri Lanka. Especially Buddhist people have 12 prayer days. Sri Lanka and Sri Lankan people go to the temple for each prayer day. And according to Sri Lankan people, there's a special thing in each prayer day. As an example, Sri Lankan people are waiting for the prayer day called Vesak, that means May, because us in that time Sri Lankan people celebrate the birth of Lord Buddha and the enlightenment and the death.
Okay.
So this is a really valuable thing for our Buddhist people, especially the enlightenment.
And the next prayer day, what does it?
Posong. The monk called Mihidu, that means monk Mihidu, came to Sri Lanka with the Buddhism. On those days, there was no Buddhist kings in Sri Lanka and they worshipped to stones, rocks, trees and snakes and devils.
Okay.
And after the monk Mihidu came to Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan people created statues of Lord Buddha and created and planted plants called bo. They did a lot of things to worship Lord Buddha. So Sri Lankan people think that Poson also a valuable poet. So just like that, there are a lot of of special things in 12 politics. And I have also studied about Christian people too.
Okay.
And I had a friend in my school which is Christian. And sometimes I ask for his religion book and I study, and as I study it, the main person of the religion is Jesus.
That's true.
And he is the son of the God, and they think that the God is the most powerful person of this world, and his son is Jesus, and Saint Mary was the mother of Jesus, and Jesus was killed in the cross, and then he was given the life by the God, and he still live in the heaven. So I hope it is true.
Yes, that's correct. I'm also a Christian,
So
and so that's how I learned it as well. So Jesus was supposed to have died for the people, and
yes,
that's why he
yes,
keeps living,
and
but-
Islam, and when it comes Tamil people in India and in some sides of Sri Lanka, they are Tamil people. That means there is a main god in their religion. That is Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma. Those three gods had created this world. That Lord Brahma created the world, and Lord Shiva destroyed the world, and Lord Vishnu who protects the world. So Tamil people think that the god Lord Shiva will destroy this world by using his trident. And the people of Tamil people believe that the god Brahma created humans. From his head he had created kings, and next monks were created. First from his head monks were created, and from shoulders the kings were created, and next from his legs the other people were created. I don't think it's true, but I can't insult to their religion, because according to me all the religions are same. We need to respect them too. So only if I met a person from another religion, then I ask from him about his religion. And also I had another friend from Islam, and he is called Ashran in my school. Sometimes he will watch this video too. And Ashran, and he's my friend. And sometimes as I ask from him about Islam, and he says that they did a activity called Upavasam, that is living a month without eating.
Oh yes, fasting.
Yes, they do it to identify the hardness to living with the hunger. And due to this reason, they hope to help the people with economical problems. And they go to the Moscow.
10 minutes.
Okay.
And they go to the Moscow, and they worship to their god. And also they trust that their single god has created this world, and his son, they call Allah, had come to Sri Lanka, and Allah had to go through the hell, and when he was going through the hell, and he had shouted, "Please catch me from my hands." In Sinhala, At means is Allah means catch. So he shouted as catch, catch. That means, so the people says that is the method how he became Allah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's very interesting. You know so much about the religions also that there are in Sri Lanka. Do you think that the different religions and cultures that live here together, are there any conflicts between them, or
no,
do they live together in peace?
They should live harmony.
Yes.
And do you trust about paradise?
I'm not sure. Do you?
Sometimes in Buddhist people they trust about the paradise and the heaven and the hell, and Islam people also trust about the paradise, and Christian people also trust about paradise, and Tamil people also trust about the heaven.
Okay, so all kind of have this in common.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really think so much about what happens after the death, so I'm more focused on my life right now and what I can do, like what kind of nice things I can do during the life, and then whatever will happen after death, I don't know.
So, can you tell me some information of your country?
Yes, of course. So I'm from Germany.
Yeah.
And Germany is kind of in the center of Europe.
Yes, I have seen.
You have seen it on the map, probably, yeah. And I know that many German people also come here.
Yes, as volunteers.
Yes, because German people really like to travel. Germany also has a really interesting history and a really horrible one, because we were involved in 2 big world wars. And there was the National Socialism, where there was a dictatorship and Jews that were killed, and so it's a really difficult history of the country. But now it is a very peaceful and safe country, and it has a good economy. And we also have like the cultures are a bit different in the country. Like the people in the north maybe a little bit different than the people in the south. In the south there's the mountains, the Alps, which is also where then Switzerland is. And in the north there's the sea. And we have a lot of neighboring countries with the other European countries.
Yes.
And we are free to travel within Europe, which is nice. There's like no borders.
Yes, that's true.
The currency.
Currency is euros. True?
Yes, that's euros, exact.
So.
And there's really nice forests in our country, and many cities that have like interesting things to see. Yeah.
So, and sometimes I study about currencies too. And I have studied different currencies of the countries. In Sri Lanka, we use Sri Lankan rupees, and Indian rupees, and most probably a lot of countries use rupees in Asia. Pakistan rupees, and Maldives rupiah, and Indonesia Serb rupees, but in Cambodia they had another of money. I'm not sure about that. And China has Chinese yuan, and Japan has yens. Korea wons, and Russia I can't remember that. And in Thailand they use the currency called baht, and as I remember, in Europe, Germany used euros, and a lot of countries used euros, and Denmark has the currency crowns, and Czech Republic has crowns, and
Yeah, so many different currencies
Yes.
in the world.
And England pounds,
Yes, the pound.
US dollars,
Mhm.
Australian dollars. And when I was studying about 10 main currencies of this world,
Mhm.
I was shocked after seeing them that 10 plus has given to what? It was given to Canadian dollars.
Mhm.
Normally, if we consider from Sri Lanka, one Canadian dollar equals normally 289 Sri Lankan rupees.
Okay.
Then what? US dollars.
Really?
Yes, US dollars has take a place in the whole country, and it plays an important role in the whole country, especially in Sri Lanka, because in Sri Lankan people, they do international economical activities
Mhm.
with US dollars and euros also, and US dollars are normally 300 rupees in Sri Lanka, and next Swiss francs, it's like 340 US Sri Lankan rupees in one Swiss franc. And I have seen the notes of Switzerland. They are really attractive.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
I think I have. Yeah, I've been to
Yes.
Switzerland before.
And those notes has different kind of fingerprints, like here and here. And in each note, there's a thing which shows the world. In the 10th note, there's a small wood, piece of wood, and in 20 francs, there's a stone, like that. Yeah. And in 50 note, there's a flower, beautiful flower, and in the 100 francs, the water can be seen, and 200, there's a symbol like this. I
Okay.
don't know what's that. And
I also don't know.
in the 1,000 francs note, it's like shaking hands, just like this.
Ah.
And if we consider 1,000 francs in Sri Lanka, it's very close to 3 lakhs. So next, euros.
Mhm.
I don't know the value. And next, Cayman Island dollars. Also in those notes, we could see the photo of the Queen. And next, pounds of England, sterling pounds. And next, as I can remember, Bahrain dinars. And next, Oman riyals and Jordan dinars and Kuwait dinars. So in the strongest currency of the world is Kuwait. It is equal that one Kuwait dinar is equal 1,125 rupees.
Wow.
So in Sri Lanka, we have a currency which is not strong, but we love that currency, rupees. And Sri Lankan notes, they also are beautiful because as in each note we could see traditional items and a photo of a map and a bird and a butterfly and a special place of Sri Lanka in 20 rupees. I can remember the animals, and they also place the there's a photo of Colombo, and in hundred I can't remember the photo of the 50 rupees. I have forgot that. And in 100 rupees, there's a photo of the place called the waterfall called Lak and Narachole. And in 500 rupees note, also we could see the National Bank of Sri Lanka, and there's another place I can't remember that place too, so I think it's not a problem. So as we talk now, I think that we talk about a lot of things like history and currencies and countries, a lot of things, and nature too.
Yes.
So
I learned so much from you. You're
Yes.
very knowledgeable.
thank you. So I get all of this information and my knowledge from my books. And can you remember the 7 wonders of this world?
Oh, I don't think I can. I know there's Machu Picchu.
Let's
Chichen-
what we'll try.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so first Machu Picchu.
Yes. Chichen Itza?
Chichen Itza in Mexico,
Yes.
and Roma Colosseum,
Yes.
and Taj Mahal,
Uh-huh.
and Great Wall of China, Statue of Christ in Brazil,
Yes. In Rio.
and we have one.
What's missing?
What's that? What's that? What's missing? It's the missed one.
I don't know.
Let's think. Which country should it be? We talk Machu Picchu.
Yes.
Machu Picchu
That's in
and
Peru.
just Peru in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and these pyramids,
Oh, yes, of course, the pyramids.
pyramids
Okay.
in Giza.
Yeah.
So sometimes you may know Egypt people are really talented more than Sri Lankan people.
Yeah. Yeah, because they built the pyramids and they also had like no
Yes.
modern technology to build
And
them.
they use a lot of gold
Mm-hmm.
in there, and it was really funny. In their arts, they were really beautiful, and in their country, the main resource of water is River Nile, the longest river of the world, and so Egypt was really powerful. And do you know about the person called Vasco da Gama?
No, I do not.
Vasco da Gama was a person came from which country? Portugal. He came from Portugal, and he came to India. After that, Portuguese people came to Asia. It's like that. The person called Ferdinand Magellan traveled around the world. He came from Spain and went to the south side of the South America and went to Philippines. Next, and watching India, came to the Cape of Good Hope in the south point of Africa, and went back to Spain. So, due to this, the people was able to know that the world is like a goal. There was an ancient thing that people thought that the world is like a flat thing. But Aristotle and the other ancient people helped to know that it is a ball. So sometimes you may know that. So I think we talked about a lot of things.
Yes.
So I'm really proud of your knowledge. You are really wise.
Well, you know much more than I do.
So, okay. So,
Thanks.
you did well.
Thanks for the talk and the information, and
Yeah.
now I'm an expert on Sri Lankan history as well.
Yeah, and also you gave me some information about Germany too.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Thank you. Stuti.